honest. Circle of secrets. Let's see how this video goes. I've been broke many times, but I've never been homeless. So can't exactly relate to the people in this video, but I have my opinions towards certain situations. But I want to see exactly what they're talking about, what they want to talk about, how they feel. See what kind of fucking excuses, what kind of reasons they got. So let's get into it.
Maybe it's not meant for me to be a mom. Maybe they're better off without me, and maybe they don't need me because this entire time that I've had them, our life has been in shambles.
In partnership with unlikely collaborators, we've designed perception box questions for communities with shared experiences to help broaden self-acceptance and deepen self-understanding. This group of people was asked, in moments of deep solitude, what major concerns and questions about you tend to dominate your thoughts? These are their answers.
I fear that if I'm not successful, my kids will end up like me.
If this is your secret and you would like to share your story, you can step forward on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Damn, can I answer this from a fucking this my perspective? Like, if I'm not successful, my kids will end up like me. And yeah, I do. Yeah, I thrive for that. I feel like I'm gonna have one of the largest influences on my kids. So whatever happens with me, it's gonna play a huge role in my children. So that, man, fuck it.
Most people that know me, I'm a pretty happy person. By society standards, I'm successful. But no one knows the amount of things I've had to overcome, to the point where when I went to therapy for the first time, she was like, how are you not on drugs right now? And I'm like, seriously? That kind of doesn't help me right now, trying to get through it. But I grew up in South Central LA. I'm a part of a study that I found out later on. Every 5 years they come and visit me. They studied 20,000 kids that grew up where I live. There's only 32 of us now that is not on drugs, is not dead or in jail, out of 20,000. I've seen homelessness, and then I became homeless out of nowhere. I was in the first year of my PhD program, and I paid my rent. I didn't know the house that I was renting, the guy was in foreclosure. And by default, living in LA, you know, hotels ain't cheap. And very slowly but surely, I went and I ended up in my car with my 2 kids. And anyone knows me, if my kids need a kidney or anything, like, if it's my life or yours, it's not a second. Here it is, take it. So everybody thought I was fit, but the reason why I was so small was because I wasn't eating, because I wanted to make sure my kids ate. Every day I went to work as a professional, as a manager. I had no idea where me and my kids were going to sleep that night. And you guys have no idea how much pain that is. And I don't ever want my kids to go through, sorry, excuse me. They say, go to school. I went to school. I got my master's. I got the degrees. They say, be polite. I've done everything that the book, so to speak, said to do. So for me and my kids to end up homeless is ridiculous. I don't have any, I'm not on any support, it's just me. I'm the only one, it's just me. If I fail, my kids fail. You have no idea how much pressure that is. I'm a fighter, I'm a competitor, and I refuse to let the bad things win, because I believe it's something greater in life up the road. And if I have to be the person to sacrifice all the pain to make sure my next generations to come will never have to go through it, so be it.
If you can directly relate to Deb's secret, you can step forward on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Surprise. I knew I liked you for a reason. You've done so well for yourself. 32 out of 20,000 people, you said?
Yeah.
That's a crazy statistic. Like, absolutely crazy. And I think you should give yourself a lot more credit.
Thank you.
Your kids probably love you a lot.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
I'm worried that my career goals aren't enough to keep me from being homeless again.
If this is your secret and you would like to share your story, you can step forward to the mic on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's that definitely. I feel like say, I don't know, cause say, I'm an entertainer, and there's no telling, said, where it's gonna take me. So it could possibly happen again. You feel me? If I don't play these cards right, so I could possibly be homeless again. It's definitely uncomfortable when you're homeless, when you got to do certain things just to get by. You feel me? I had to do a lot of things that I wouldn't normally do, just to keep things going. Like I said, I'm still alive, so if it ain't killing me, it's gonna make me stronger. So I think it's gonna happen for me.
That's facts.
If you don't risk homelessness for it, then it's probably not your dream.
That's
If you believe in it,
facts.
then you'll risk it all for it. So I just, if you want to do it, then do it. Even if you might got to sleep on a few couches, a few buses, a few trains. But if you really want it, go get it.
That's what
Now
it
I'll
takes.
ask
You
if
gotta be at that
anyone
next
can
level.
relate to Edward's secret.
Gotta be
You can
hungry
step
enough for
forward
it.
on
Gotta be a
3.
risk
1,
taker, especially if you want to
2,
go big or something.
3. All right, Edward, you can go ahead and turn around.
My boss, he has his own business and I'm his assistant, and if anything were to happen at any given time, or if he wanted to give up on that dream of his, I would be jobless and things would be hard for me. I have 2 kids, so being homeless with my kids it's like really hard. It's just a little bit different, I can't just go sleep on a bus, I can't just go sleep on a train, I gotta make sure that my kids are all right. So I definitely relate to that. I am nervous that if he ever decides to not be what he is anymore, I will be jobless, and I think that we could possibly face homelessness again.
That's tough. And I would, if I was her, I would definitely not want to put myself in a position where your boss is running a business, which seems pretty high risk, because it seems like he has those options where she's even talking like this. It sounds like he's in a high risky type of business. She's making her money, but she needs to start looking for other options. She needs to have her backup plan so you can get rid of this fear. Because being an assistant isn't a career for her dreams. It sounds like it just seems like something that's keeping her afloat. So I definitely, if I was her, just get rid of that. Get rid of that fear. Come on with your backup plan. Get your shit going.
I came here homeless,
Oh shit.
fighting it. Recently lost my car and my house, my apartment. I had a roommate that I was collabing with. We were supposed to be making money together, his company and my company. He chose to sleep in the office to not pay me when the rent was due the next day. My dog is dying. I had to figure it out. And the only way to do that is first accepting that I attracted this kind of person to me that put me in the position that I'm in right now.
Accountability, man.
I've been meditating. It helps. I'm honest with how I feel. How do you feel?
You never know what other people is gonna see. Me, I'm doing it differently. Like he has kids, you got a dog. Like said, I'm doing it just supporting myself, no children. So, you know what I mean? It's a little different for me. It's like I only have to worry about one.
It's not different.
Yeah, I like that she kept that accountability. I'm big on whatever's going wrong in your life, take a full responsibility for it, and you'll be able to get through it much faster than if you're looking for somebody to blame. Big on that, man. That goes for all problems, anything, any shape or form.
Because your pain is just like her pain. And her pain is like my pain. And my pain is like everybody's pain in here. So it's not different. It doesn't lessen what you're going through. And that was my problem fighting this, that I felt that I was still fortunate. But no, we deserve better. And the problem is that when we think that we don't deserve better, we attract negative shit and we stay in the same fucking cycle. I'm sorry for cursing. I had to change my decisions. I changed the people I surrounded myself, and now I have a place. I can have a car now because of help, my tribe, not by myself. I chose not to have a car. I chose to take the bus because I realized that I haven't been present in my life, and my life is slipping away like my dog.
I mean, this is something that I think about pretty much every day. It's like, you know, I'm a software engineer, I work in tech, and everyone kind of just is like, oh, you do like, you know, a fancy career that like any parent would be proud of. It's like, you're probably safe, but like, I don't feel safe. So like, I grew up in an environment where like pretty much everyone is poor. And when you grow up in an environment like that, there's like this big unspoken rule that like so many things out there just aren't for people like you. And where I am, that's definitely one of them. And it took me a lot of convincing just to even like try to do what I'm doing now. And you know, it's like, you know, the tech industry right now, things have been going really badly. There's been like mass layoffs from every company of every size. I got laid off 3 times in 1 year. I'm trying to set a world record. It's real bad out there. And it's like most people that I'm surrounded by, you know, they didn't grow up in poverty. They don't really have experience with it. It hasn't touched their lives. They don't know anything about it. They'll say the wildest stuff that to like for me to hear that's like, oh, you definitely just like grew up in a bubble with money and you've never even like looked outside of it. And you know, I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be powerful. I don't want to like be a creative director or anything. I just want to be stable. I want to feel like I can keep having a home and just not worry about it.
I don't know the story fully. Just little bits and pieces. Stability's that first step, man. You just gotta be more responsible. I'll be fucking up too, though. Shit happens, life happens. We have emotions. We make decisions based off our emotions. Take responsibility, though. Number one. Now figure out how to solve it. Keep getting fired. Figure out what you can do different. Figure out what you can improve. You know. Keep on just looking for solutions. I think that's the best thing you could do is whenever shit is going wrong, just keep looking for a solution. Stop stress. Don't stress too much about the problem. Look for the solutions. Look for the solution. Look for the solution. And the other thing, the woman, she said something about she kept feeling like she was so fortunate. She was fortunate, like she kept feeling so fortunate, and it made her just not feel like she deserves more because she felt so fortunate, like just to be on this earth, I guess, or just to have the life that she even had in the first place. It made her keep attracting worse and worse and worse, and being less and less and less. And look, at least I don't know. This is as a man, so I feel like we need to think. Look, we are fortunate to have this life blessed. We were especially being born in the United States, fortunate as hell compared to other countries. Compared to most situations in this world, like a lot of the world lives in poverty. So if you are going through it, you're dealing with what most people are dealing with. They are living in poverty. And we deserve more, but this is a survival of the fittest type of world. That's how the animals are. That's how we are. We're essentially animals. We survive differently. We're not fucking killing, and we're animals with rules. So we need to survive and be the fittest while going a course with the rules that we have to live by. So yeah, you deserve more, yeah. But you gotta. That's what that means. That's what the whole purpose of survival of the fittest. The best. The best will do the best. The best are the best. I mean, for her, you know, she was feeling like, oh, I'm fortunate. But then life became unfortunate, and then she deserves more. Now she's here talking in fear. But it's just deep, man. Like, We all go through it. Something. We have to overcome it. Stay solution based. Always looking for a solution. You just start attracting shit. Like if you just start looking for a solution, just focus on solutions, the solution comes. I'm not saying just thinking. I'm saying try this. Keep trying things. And it just somehow this shit just comes your way, and then even when you're not even looking for it, you just attract the solution. So yeah, deep.
I had to shoplift and become a prostitute just to survive.
All right, if this is your secret and you would like to share your story, you may do so on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh shit.
Well, I became homeless because of addiction. It started out later in life, in my 20s. Came from a boarding school, and I didn't learn anything that high schoolers would learn about drugs and social and all that, so it kind of affected me. I had really low self-esteem, so I was willing to do anything to make people happy, so it's just how it started. As my addiction grew, I brought me to shoplift and prostitute just to be able to eat, and it was put myself in dangerous positions just to, and in my record, like getting in trouble, you know. So now I'm sober, so I'm doing things the right way, and I'm currently technically still homeless, but I'm in a program, and so it's technically still homeless. Now I'm doing good, and I have a new apartment coming up, and I have a job and doing good for myself.
Well, anyone going through a similar situation you were going through back then, anyone who can relate to your secret, what kind of advice would you want to give them?
That there is a way out. That this doesn't, your situation doesn't have to rule you. That with a little effort, you could become clean and sober and on the right path, and just don't give up.
What is one of your greatest hopes for yourself today?
To stay sober, to find a job, even with my background, stable place to stay, just things that everybody deserves that I haven't yet achieved yet.
If you can relate to the secret, you may step forward on 3.
Shit, like, damn. I don't even know, like, and this tells you one thing though, like, your path, the life that you've been through, like, that shit really can fuck you. Like, fuck you in, like, your life. Like, it's just, and not, I just figured out what the fuck I just said. And it really could screw up your life though. Damn, another one. These are not puns. It just matter the sentence I say. Now, it could really like take a toll on your life, but you can really be on a path, and then you have certain moments where, you know, now she's low self-esteem in your childhood and become a people pleaser, and then you make bad decisions, and then, you know, people who are usually like this take the easy way initially until they learn it hard and get through it. And she just did what the worst for the best, to get the best, or to get a little bit, get better, and it wasn't out. It was just making things worse. That's just from what I see. You know, her life decisions. You know, some people also, they can't see past what they've been doing, or see through, or see other options, or see other ways, because that's all they know. You know, they get introduced to it. It seems like the method. You know, even me, I can be doing the same thing. I can think my business is like one of the better ways for me to function. And, you know, that's what I know. That's what I introduced myself to, or that's what I've been introduced to. And I feel like this is the meta. This is the method. Everyone has their own method in their head of what's the way they want to go about life, and they proceed through it in that way. Whether they feel like whether they admit to it or say it, this is the method they made in their head, and that's why they commit to it every single day. By doing that, so whether it's bad decisions or good decisions, they still do it. This is their life. This is their like when you get on the good game, and this is a stupid analogy, but it's like you get on the game, play Call of Duty. It's like we have the meta, the good classes, and then you have those bums who still use this type of fucking class that's so shitty when we look at it. That's basically what these people are doing with their lives. Literally. They're just doing it in a way that they feel like is the best for them, and it's actually ass. That's what she's doing with her life, literally. So yeah. Shit, I can't believe I just related homelessness to Call of Duty. But this is about making decisions, and if you feel like your best decision that you can make in this moment is a bad decision, or just ask because that's all you know, you don't have much more knowledge, you don't have much more experiences, you don't have much more confidence, shit happens. You gotta fix it though as soon as possible. You know? But from the beginning of Earth, we've never been the best with making decisions, so this is almost nearly expected, which is why the world is the way it is. All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, you may turn around. No one here can relate, but thank you for sharing.
I want to give her a round of applause. Just because we're not standing there don't mean that we're not there with you.
All right.
Like, I know people who definitely can relate. They just ain't in this room.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Oh, wait, sucking dick for money.
I've had suicidal thoughts while being homeless with my kids.
Now, if this is your secret and you'd like to step forward and share your story, you may do so on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I had suicidal thoughts while I was homeless with my kids. There was a lot that led up to it. It wasn't just me being homeless. It was not having any help. It was not being able to get a job because in order to get a job, I needed daycare. In order to get daycare, I needed money. And in order to get money, I needed a job. And it was like a circle of things that I could not get out of. I couldn't escape. I didn't have any help. And we were homeless in December, and it was right after my son's birthday on Christmas Eve. And I chose to be homeless because my dad called me after I was kicked out, and he asked me if I wanted to go back to my mom's, and I said no. And honestly, I think that if I would have went back, I think that I would still be in hotels. I would still be struggling. So even though I was homeless with my children, I would choose that again because I entirely bet on myself, and I just really felt like maybe it's not meant for me to be a mom, and maybe they're better off without me, and maybe they don't need me because this entire time that I've had them, our life has been in shambles, and I can't figure it out for whatever reason. Nothing's working, and I just felt like I'm not going to live on a world where my kids are not with me, so might as well just give them to their dad, have their dad give them a really great life, and I don't even want them to have to worry about me. Maybe they'll just be better off. And so yeah, I just felt like the only thing for me to really do after all that time trying was just to die. So yeah.
Where are you at today? What are you proud of about yourself now?
All of me. Literally, like all of me. I'm proud that I'm not in like a miserable position anymore. I'm proud that I have a job. My kids are in daycare. They're learning, they're smart, we're all healthy. I'm honestly proud of everything. I'm proud of our little house. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere, but we got an extra playroom and everything, a front yard, a backyard. I really have nothing to feel negative about anymore. And honestly, like if any negativity does come my way, I honestly know shit could be worse and it's minuscule.
Yeah.
If you can relate to Nikki's secret, you may step forward on.
Fuck with her, get overcoming what she had to do, man. Those some tough thoughts, man. Leaving your kid on this earth, man. That would have been so much worse for them. I've always felt like it's tough. I feel like suicide is a very selfish decision. I feel like you're taking the easy way out, and you are basically saying, "This is just my perspective." You're basically saying, "My life's too hard, and I can't deal with all the pain that I'm seeing and dealing with in some facet. So I'm gonna make it easy and just end it." So it's like I'm stopping the pain. The pain is over now. That's what you want to get. You're ending the pain. You're ending all the feelings. Because she's good now. She was suffering from seeing what she was seeing, so she wanted to end it. At the same time, you're just doing it for yourself. You're not thinking about the real repercussions. There's no way you think that someone can think that. Oh, people can think this actually. There's no way though that it's true or it's possible that you killing yourself is gonna fucking make your children feel better or have a better life. It's insane and it's selfish. And you're also not caring about the other people who do love you dearly. But if you're in this situation, I guess we're in a homeless situation. I guess they really don't love you that much. So maybe you only had to think about was you and your kids. And that just would have been a terrible decision. I'm happy she didn't do that. I do think people who kill themselves are very selfish. It's a selfish decision. Not selfish people, but I think suicide is a selfish decision. For sure.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hi. Hi.
I never experienced with kids because I gave my son up for adoption, but I've been suicidal, and just pretty much and doing fentanyl, it's just suicide right there. Any moment I could die, and sometimes I wanted that, but just knowing that there's better things to come.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have kids, but yeah, definitely like thoughts of suicide while homelessness. I was homeless while I was having my first job in my industry, in the video game industry. I had this one, there was like an incident at work where my manager asked me to do something. I misunderstood his instructions, so I spent an entire day doing something that they didn't want. And the way they interpreted that was that I was being insubordinate, that I was just like doing whatever I wanted instead of doing what they were asking me to do. The CEO like sat down with me and said like, we don't tolerate this behavior. Like I explained that it was just like a mistake, I misunderstood, but she just didn't believe me. And said like, if you make one more mistake, then you're fired. The idea of living in a life where like I had flunked out of the only career that I was qualified to get, it was like, I didn't know if I wanted to live that life. When I left the office, when I would go back to the place where I would sleep, I had to walk past like a big like interstate, and I just kept thinking like it'd be so easy to just like, oopsie, fell into traffic, oh darn, there he goes, and just I thought really hard about it, but the next day was better, the day after that was better. Now, about 4 years later, much better. It's just like, when you have those thoughts about ending it all, it's just like, you don't know what you're giving up. And there are so many times when you can just be like pleasantly surprised about how far you can go. And for what it's worth, I'm so glad that you're alive. I know your kids feel the same way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've attempted suicide because it felt like I couldn't escape homelessness.
All right, if this is your secret and you'd like to step forward and share your story, you may do so on 3. 1, 2, 3.
You know, I lost my sister. It was my first real loss, and drugs were my way out of it because she was my protector, my leader. She showed me the way. I believe in turning your pain into art. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you everything that happened to me. What matters is, what are you gonna do with your situation? Are you gonna sit there and say, why is this happening to me? Are you listening to what you're saying to yourself? I don't wanna be rich. So you won't be. I wanna be rich. And richness is not money to me. I want to be loved the way I love. And I wasn't getting that. I didn't have shit. To the point, all I had was my drug, because for that moment, I was with my sister for that moment. My sister died mad at me. She was mad at me, I was mad at her. And it was the last hug she gave me, and it was the strongest because she knew she was dying, but I did not. So when she died, I died too. And I wanted to be with her. I became homeless because I was so stuck on cocaine. But that was my little escape from reality. If there was anyone in the world that didn't want to be here, it was me. I'm still struggling. I don't have it together. I may be homeless in a week, in an hour, or in a month. I swear. You don't need to know the details. You just need to know that I am strong, and I got this.
If anyone can relate to Andy's secret, you may step forward on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, you may turn around. So no one here.
She has her story. She has her reasons. Pushing through it. I like that. I like that she's fighting. She's fighting against what her body, her feelings, how she's feeling, her life. She doesn't want to speak those negativity, the negativeness into herself anymore. She let it go. She's telling her past secrets, how she's felt. It's not her no more. I hope that's true. It'd be interesting to see how these people are doing in the future, but yeah. It's true.
Here, step forward, but we all know that there are so many people out there who can relate.
I also am like very, very big on like the way that you vibrate and like the way that you literally manifest being homeless for yourself or negative things for yourself, bad things for yourself. You're gonna be okay. And you have to manifest that for yourself. You know it. Don't say those things. Don't say you're scared about being homeless because that's not even in your future. You went through that already. You did the hard part. You did the work. You're doing the self-healing. You're okay. Don't manifest it for yourself anymore. That's not the life that you live. You're okay. You're a really strong woman. Okay? You're okay.
When people talk about things like poverty and homelessness in the media, I think like the representation of it is generally like pretty shallow. It's just like, oh no, can't afford fancy candy, so sad. And then like the rest of their life is just like completely normal. But like there's so much depth to what it feels like to be in this situation that isn't really shown as prominently.
And FYI, anybody homeless, you can't eat, Starbucks every day throws out what they don't sell. You're welcome.
That's the best way to end it, with a tip about Starbucks.
Yeah. That's a life hack.
Yeah.
Right?
Man. Oh man. I can just imagine the amount of like mental loops you gotta jump. You push yourself to that mental level away from homelessness. Because that's just a mindset. Poverty is a mindset. So is homelessness, like a deep, like, because it's like you have no attached to many parts of realities and the many comforts and the joys of the world you've been removed from. Like, it's like homelessness is deeper than just without a home. It's like shit, I feel like if you're homeless, you basically don't even have a real family. What kind of family is gonna fucking let you live on the street or sleep in a fucking shelter? You're without much love. You're without a network. You're without the mental capacities to fix your problems in this moment. You're without a lot. Like, I think this homelessness is more just being without of a lot of things. It's deeper than just not having a home. People cannot have a home, but homeless people typically are without a lot more than just the home. And so these things interest me. I wonder. Very interesting. Interesting, Julie.